Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Great Indoors. This is episode 9, the penultimate episode of season 8, coming to you again from MWC 2024 in Barcelona. I want to go home now. Anyway, the one thing that this season has really brought home to me is the diversity of service provider strategies from around the world. Indeed, that's been the most fascinating element of this set of podcasts that we've recorded here. Just the different challenges, the cultural differences, and the different implementations of what our customers are doing around the world is amazing. And, it reminded me somewhat of a novel that was written in 1873 called Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And this story revolves around Phileas Fogg, a wealthy and precise English gentleman who accepts a wager of 20,000 British pounds, a colossal sum at the time, to circumnavigate the globe in 80 days. Now, the novel is not only an adventure, but also a showcase of the technological advances of the 19th century, the innovations of the Industrial Revolution, if you will. And given the story is a race against time, with Fogg managing various obstacles that threaten to derail his mission. It's a celebration of human ingenuity and perseverance, wrapped in a narrative that spans diverse cultures and settings around the world. And I thought of that because we are in a new industrial revolution. And I feel that during this week in Barcelona, we have been around the world in 4 days. The stories of innovation, technical progress from the United States, Philippines, Brazil, the United Kingdom, Italy, Africa, and even Kazakhstan have been amazing. And I haven't even had to move. I haven't had to travel in any fancy hot air balloons or trains. I've only had to travel from my hotel to the convention center. And for everyone who attends this show, you'll know that that's an adventure on its own as well. Anyway, let's get ready as we hear some more incredible stories from around the world. Welcome to The Great Indoors, a podcast where we look at the technological implications brought about by the next industrial revolution and how this can potentially help solve the biggest problems facing humanity. I'm your host, Matthew Roberts, and joining me as ever is my co-pilot and producer, Larissa Yee. So, we're still here in Barcelona 2024. It's been incredible. This is the penultimate episode. And just to remind you that the booth and studio from Amdocs here at the show are just stunning. And our guests from around the world are just incredible. So after this week, only one more to go. And I can safely say I'm already looking forward to next year. So what do we have for you today in episode 9? Well, again, I talked about the diversity of our guests so far and how they're from around the world. So today we have Federico Karrer, the Head of Digital Services Life at CKH Innovations Opportunities Development at Hutchison, Europe. We are also joined by Mr. Illya Polshakov. He's the Chief New Business Streams Officer from Kyivstar in Ukraine, and he has just a fascinating story to share. And then from Canada, Neil Mendes, who's the Head of Public Mobile, will be joining us, and Mr. Gabriel Israel, who you will know from previous episodes, who heads up our Telco and Media Stellar Elements division at Amdocs, will join me to host that one. So again, we're going all around the world. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are, day 1 of MWC 2024. The Great Indoors continues, and I'd like to welcome our next guest. His name is Mr. Federico Karrer. He's the Head of Digital Life Services at CKW Innovation Opportunities Development at Hutchison Limited. Wow, it's quite a long title. So welcome to The Great Indoors, Federico.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you very much.
How's the show so far? We're only a few hours in, but...
Yeah, a few hours, but it's very crowded. I think also the start is very good.
Yeah.
So I was here in this booth, here in the Amdocs booth since this morning.
Oh, right.
Very effective starting.
Oh, excellent. And do you like what you see?
Yeah, I like. I also joined some conversation with the team, with analysts. Very good start.
Awesome. Great. So, and where are you based, Federico? Where are you out of?
I'm based in Milan,
Okay.
but as an Italian, I'm a Rome guy based in Milan. So this is my historical, let's say, path. Work reason, but my main city is Rome. I was born 100 meters close to the St. Peter Church.
Ah, wow. For our listeners, Federico, tell us a little bit about your role at Hutchison and your journey so far.
Okay, my role in Hutchison, it's a group marketing, digital product management role. So I'm like the marketing guy for our group organization. Hutchison maybe is not well known, but owns several business, in particular in the telco business, 11 mobile operators around the world. Wow. And all of them are connected to my role, which is create opportunities, new revenue streams for them. So I'm representing the marketing function of a telco organization. I'm 26 years in this business, starting, as I said, in Rome, in some mobile operators, then moving, as in the career happens, in different roles, being digital marketing director in 3, business director. So I had several years of experience.
So can you introduce us to the concept of the subscription marketplace and its significance for you in the digital economy of today?
Yeah, this digital service marketplace, it's an initiative that let's say we have in our mind since several years, and we start developing some years ago with the first initiatives, but now we want to scale up, and with Amdocs we are doing this, let's say, evolution. The digital service marketplace is something that will simplify our customers' life cycle to subscribe services. So I'm talking about subscription services. What they are: services that have recurring subscription, monthly, daily, doesn't matter. Famous over the tops, the most famous ones, or white label services that are services that we brand with our logo, but then we have partners that are providing the services. Examples are on the security side or InsurTech. We have this kind of initiatives around. So we want to merge all of them together in one place, one user experience fits all, and that's it. This is something that we don't have today. So this is our main attention, is to the customer's life cycle and the user experience, which is number one priority for everyone.
And how does that help with customer engagement and retention?
This helps in the sense that the customer engagement, it's today developed service by service. Then we will optimize this in one single user experience, which fits all.
And can you give me some examples of some of those services and partners that you've onboarded using the platform?
We are going to onboard partners that we have still commercial deals, but and commercial partnerships, and we are distributing with not the same channel that we will have with the digital marketplace. I'm referring to Netflix, to Paramount, to big players, but also to services that are more on the security side. As Bitdefender is a partner of us. We have initiatives also on the gaming space with Blacknut. So these are the first ones that are coming to my mind, representing the first basic catalog. But then we want to evolve on extending the catalog in tens of hundreds of partners.
But it's pretty obvious that generative AI and AI in general has been reignited by what happened on November the 30th, 2022, which was the launch of ChatGPT from OpenAI. How is that affecting your thinking, your strategy, and even onboarding new partners?
And leveraging on the trend means that we want to have the most possible contextual marketing proposition that a customer can get, thanks to the profiling, the engine of the artificial intelligence, that maybe will be features that we will add in the future of the marketing of the marketplace. So the idea is to use this kind of features of Gen AI to propose better fit the needs of the customers. And this is the main So at the end, the growth will be also driven by this kind of functionality.
Now, we're almost out of time, Federico, and the time's flown by. I've really enjoyed the conversation, but we've got to the point of the podcast now. It's called TGI to Go, and it's the fun quick-fire round. TGI to Go. So you're going out for dinner tonight. You're offered the choice of limoncello or Rioja. Which one do you take?
Limoncello.
Yeah.
No.
Of course. Of course. I remember spending a lot of time in Sorrento and going to the limoncello. It was really amazing. But yeah, that one had to be limoncello. So you need a break in Italy. You're going to take a weekend vacation. Would you go to Florence or Firenze or Venice?
This is a very tough question.
Yeah.
What we can say, it's I can go to Venice. I can go to Venice, but not saying that Florence is bad. It's a very similar to Rome.
Yes.
So, but Venice it's like special compared with the other city. It's unique in the world.
Yes. Now you mentioned, of course, that you're from Rome. So are you Roma or Lazio?
This is a big question.
Yeah.
Because my family, the whole family is Lazio, and I am the only one in the family Rome for Rome. So I'm a Rome guy, Rome fan.
Yeah. And do you, if they come to Milan to play Inter or AC, do you?
Yeah, because now I live in Milan.
Yeah.
So I can see Rome, and I will be in the next weekend in Monza because there is a match. Monza against Rome.
Right.
So every time Rome is going north, I join the stadium and see the match.
Wow. And I'm a big Liverpool supporter.
Okay. So don't remind me the championship, the let's say final in Rome.
Yeah.
1983, please.
Yeah, of course.
The penalty.
Of course. The Bruce Grobbelaar.
Yeah, Bruce Grobbelaar one.
Yeah.
Don't. Please. I was young, but I remind very well, and every Rome fan.
But now I live in Canada. The one thing I miss from the UK is the soccer, is the football. And I was lucky enough on my way to Barcelona to spend 3 days in Liverpool. I went to visit my mother, but I didn't get a chance to go to a game, unfortunately. It's one of those things as a Brit and a fellow football that I miss dearly.
By the way, our CEO in our company is a Liverpool fan.
Oh, is he? Well, then I think you're in great hands, is all I can say there, Federico. It's all I can say. Staying on the topic of football, and this is one of those questions that I get people's views on. Who was the better footballer, or who is the better footballer, Messi or Ronaldo?
Okay. I'll go with Messi.
Okay.
Because I'm also a sport guy, and let's say the Messi brain, the talent, it's for me, the talent in particular. I'm not saying the strength. Ronaldo is a very good player, but the talent. So on the football, it's for me most.
Okay. Now, my final question on the TGI to Go. I hope you've had fun doing it. It's always really interesting. This weekend, would you go hiking or biking if you had the chance?
Okay. I can go hiking because I live not far from the mountains. So nice. I think because Milan is not far, it's close to the Alps.
Yeah.
So I think biking is very popular.
Yeah.
But I think hiking can be something I can do with my family.
Okay.
As
awesome.
well.
Now we're almost out of time, Federico. I've really enjoyed the conversation.
You,
this has gone really quick. It's been really great. Is there any final thoughts you would like to leave with our listeners before we sign off?
I was just to thank you for this, let's say, this experience. I think that we, as I said, this meeting in Barcelona started with an incredible organization here in Amdocs. We started with something that maybe it's in the end of the 3 days, but now we started the first day. So I just to thank you, all of you, for this, and this is my last thought.
Yeah. And I'd like to thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, Federico.
Me too.
And I mean it let's talk again next year and
we'll
see where we
the
are.
Next day, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Thank you. So, my next guest today on the Great Indoors here at MWC Barcelona is Mr. Illya Polshakov, the Chief New Business Streams Officer from Kyivstar in the Ukraine. So,
that's right. Hello.
welcome.
Hello, everyone.
And thank you for taking the journey, the time to come and see us today. How's your day been so far?
Quite intensive. Thank you for your invitation.
No problem.
This is, amazing opportunity to be here, to see a lot of innovations, a lot of companies who's trying to present their cutting-edge technologies, which is already here. Yeah.
Just give a little bit of your journey, your background, and your role at Kyivstar.
Yeah, I'm already 10 years with the Kyivstar. Kyivstar is a number one telecom operator in Ukraine. So we're servicing 50% of the whole market, and definitely B2C and B2B, and we are working all over the country. And my journey started, I came as a transformation director.
Right.
Now I'm responsible for new businesses, but it's some kind of new transformation role for myself, because, it's like the whole journey, you are changing company for good, right? And you are delivering new services, new products. Before it was like a more operational transformation. Now it's like a more about business.
But tell us about the AWS migration and the rationale and thought process to embark on this pretty ambitious project.
That's a very good question. Thank you very much. It's like a long story before when you come just to make such a decision, right? Because cloud technology, it's more than like you are buying servers, you're buying, I would say, right engineers. You should find from cloud extra benefits, time to market, elasticity, new platforms, which should be more than, right? For Kyivstar, we developed many years ago on OpenStack, open platforms, our data platform, right? And it's every year try to be developed and upgraded. And one day you are just discovering that it should be not only modern one, right? But it should be new product for further developments. And we are searching new business development based on our experience. It's like some kind of, dog food. What you are eating, you should promote.
Yes.
And that's the case. And for us, it was a journey with Amazon. Yes, when we start analyzing what can be mutual integration between business development and our internal development. Because we're experts in what we're doing, but definitely it would be great just to bundle as a product and services and to go to the broad market and to provide as a service for another telcos and other companies who really can rely on our experience, right? Because you can imagine you are 30 years experienced guys who have a big data scientists and engineers and whatsoever, so on.
Yeah.
And how to attract for other customers such easy to go solutions. And with Amazon, it was not easy approach because for enterprise to make such a solution, it was definitely business case, business conversation. What will be product, how will go, and definitely for Amazon, thank you very much. Guys was quite advanced with their also envision. But I would say I need to thank them that definitely was triggered by a very big cybersecurity attack, which was definitely painful. But based on our experience, we redeployed everything from the cloud, and it was not harmed at all. That's, I would say, from resilience, from disaster catastrophe resilience. So you can be very, very much faster than to be deployed on typical servers.
Yes.
That's, I would say, cloud adoption and cloud first. It really works.
How important is data for you to harness the data, and how does it help Kyivstar as an organization create new business models, move into different verticals?
very complex question, to be honest, because everything what is related to data, it means, different areas. For example, you can have your, as a telco data. You can buy extra data from different source providers, right? But you need to understand what product and services you are going to provide to your customers, right? And that's why you should have data scientists, product owners, the full stack of the people who are developing such services, right? And definitely based on this data, you are developing for industries who is ready to pay for it, right? For example, for financial institutions, right? It can be different services which is related to security, like services which can predict some kind of situations just to avoid money loss for the end customers. Or it can be lead generation services. A lot of APIs based on data analytics, like changing SIM cards online. And you are developing all these services based on your knowledge.
Yeah.
And you are showing your partners how they can use in their industries.
Yeah.
It can be, as I said, banks for their credit cards. Definitely, they can buy from our site like a lookalike models, right? Just to understand, for example, where they are customers, right?
Yeah.
In terms of behavior, and definitely for retailers, it can be the same. So it can be like an extra lead generation based on data analytics of DPI.
Obviously, in the last 2 years, Ukraine has been in an extremely unfortunate position with the war. The systems that you deploy, and we talked about resiliency and the cloud-based native, how have they benefited the enterprises you serve? That resilience, that flexibility, that, in the face of of catastrophic situation.
You have very good questions. I like all of them. we can speak a lot of time about it.
Yeah.
But to be short, I would start first of all. You should look from different dimensions. For example, if you're enterprise, definitely you will care about what type of risk you are ready to take. For example, you should evaluate your risks, right? Second one, definitely each enterprise working on a business case study, just to understand what is the benefits of this implementation, etc. But I still believe it's like a complex solution of making decision, right? So my answer will be the following. So this is not only about Kyivstar, but it's definitely about balancing that you are going, first of all, to support continuous improvement and continuous business development of the existing company, right?
Yeah.
And based on this, you are making a decision, right? Because you are trying to balance value creation of existing customer or existing company's business, right? Like a telecom, for example, from B2C or from B2B. And definitely we are trying to understand the size of the investment in this such a technology. Because as I said, for example, a lot of IT guys today, they're searching to be professionals in a public cloud, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. And definitely they don't want to be administrators of servers, which was 15 years ago. This is they're also professional skill. But for enterprise, it's first of all focus on what? Time to market, right? To have more cost-efficient solution. And definitely to have proved future, I would say, in 3-5 years, technology which will be cutting edge. Definitely, everything can be changed in 3 years. And that's why you should be ready just to be sure that in 3 years you will be changed your strategy in terms of, for example, cloud solutions implementation. But each enterprise definitely chosen not only one hyperscaler, it multi-cloud strategy because not only one provider can be strong in everything, right? That's why you are balancing your cloud infrastructure based on different technologies. That's why I would say this is relevant for enterprises, but for smaller companies, SMBs, for example, from 5 to, I would say, 500 seats, right? Well, working seats. It's very important, a time to market, just pay as you grow. you shouldn't be expert in cybersecurity, in cloud security, in cloud technologies. They will not outsource, but they will buy from you professional services, like who is professional ones, who can combine cloud, security, all, for example, stuff which is related to Amazon or Microsoft, just to bundle all this stuff and to get it everything from one hand. This is the main issue. And what is very important for smaller companies, they are not so advanced.
In a similar way that the rest of the world during COVID went through a digital vault, right? A disproportional increase in digitalization that we didn't expect, driven by the crisis and the need. Has the war had a similar effect on modernization, on digitalization, on the adoption of new technologies?
It was like a big trigger for all of us about distant workplace, about modern workspace, how you would like, and Teams collaboration technology. And thanks for example, for Microsoft, who has Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office 365, where you just get Teams collaboration tools for enterprises, definitely. And our B2B customers accelerates in the migration from typical collaboration tools to the modern workspace, where they have like a bundle solutions from telco and non-telco bundle service from Kyivstar, and mostly SMBs, because enterprises more or less was adopted. But for a smaller one, it was a huge motion of penetration. Even now, I would say like 15% of SMBs penetrated by modern technologies. It's like a blue ocean, definitely. When war starts, definitely it was big question mark for business continuity for many industries and for many companies. Not in terms of price, how much does it cost? Yes, it's more about we should migrate a lot of customers to the cloud, because existing data centers where, for example, our customers deployed is not relevant already, right? Because business continuity creates another request, because they can't ready to pay for stopping business. They're ready to migrate and just to have non-stop approach. During the war, we migrated more than 400 new customers. It was an amazing motion, B2B customers.
One of the questions I ask all the service providers, what are you doing as far as society, corporate responsibility? And obviously you're in a very different environment now in the Ukraine. But what are some of the initiatives that Kyivstar have done to, help the communities, help people that have been displaced or people that have suffered directly from what is happening?
We do a lot of CSR programs, but from business perspective, I would comment a couple of them because we have a lot of, PRs based on this.
Right.
But I would say the most sensitive can come for humanitarian demining. Right. Because I believe humanitarian demining, it's like a big program for next 15 years or 50 years, because size of the problem you can imagine. And we as a business developed a new service for Ukraine, real-time kinematics with Trimble company, with American Trimble company. And for us as a telecom operator, this is two stories. We want to help our farmers to be advanced in precision farming, right? Because they should be quite in pair, for example, with other farmers with whom they can compete, right? And second one, RTK technology, real-time kinematics, can be used for controlling how humanitarian demining proved. For example, we have, based on government general approach of humanitarian demining operators who should identify and just to eliminate all these exposure things, right? And based on RTK, you can control area and you can collect the data on real, on air, right? And just directly put all this data through APIs to the global map, where is all this stuff, and it should be marked very accurately because RTK provides like accuracy of up to 5 centimeters. And you can imagine that you can control all this logistics of all the guys.
Yeah.
And Kyivstar is providing such a service for the humanitarian demand companies who supports, and we are providing equipment and tools as a part of our CSR program. So I would say how to combine new technologies with such a sensitive and very important areas, because we would like to save, and we hope to save, lives of our people who is living and who is working on the plants. Also.
Now, we're almost out of time. Illya, I've really enjoyed the conversation.
You're welcome.
Gone really
Me too.
quick. But we finish with the TGI to go quick fire round. TGI to go. So you could visit one of these two places for a weekend break after the show. Would you go to Rome or Paris?
To Paris.
Have you been before?
Yep.
You like Paris?
Yep.
Okay. Would you take your wife?
Yes, of course.
Yes. They love. My wife loves Paris. My wife loves Paris.
Yep.
Here's an interesting question I've been asking everybody today, and it's a football question.
Okay. I'm not a football man, but I will try.
Who's the greatest of all time, Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Oh, Ronaldo.
I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I have heard about him much more of it. But I'm not sure, but I still believe that I have heard much more of it.
Okay. If you had to watch Star Wars or Star Trek, which one would you sit through?
First one, which one?
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Yeah. Now you're going out for a drink tonight and for dinner.
Okay.
Would you have a beer or would you have a nice Spanish Rioja?
Nice Spanish grill.
Yeah. Have you had any nice dinners so far since you've arrived?
No.
No.
I arrived very late.
And my final question today.
Yeah.
I've asked everybody this. And it's interesting. Nobody has a clear position on it.
Oh, okay.
But which generative AI tool would you rather use? ChatGPT 4 or the new Google Gemini Advanced? If you've had a chance to.
I just tried and used ChatGPT 4 pay-as-you-go subscription.
Okay.
And currently now I'm using it.
Are you using it? It's good though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. The time has flown by. I think you have some incredibly unique
Thank you.
Insights, and my heart goes out to everybody in Ukraine, and hopefully this situation will come to an end soon, and you can get back to business. And I think what you guys are doing at Kyivstar is inspirational. It's fantastic. I'm really glad that you're an Amdocs customer.
Yeah.
And I want to wish you the best for the rest of the week in Barcelona.
Thank you very much. Appreciate meeting with you, and it's great time to spend with you.
Okay, we're back. MWC 2024. This is the Great Indoors live from Barcelona. And it's just occurred to me, this episode is all Canadian. I'm joined by fellow Canadians, Neil Mendes, the head of Public Mobile at Public Mobile, and Gabriel Israel, who's from our Stellar Elements division, and is a veteran, I might say, to the Great Indoors.
Which episode was it?
It's a good question. I don't.
It's a
It's on our
It's a
website.
test.
Check out amdocs.com/The Great Indoors if you want to hear Gabby in previous episodes. So, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you, Neil, for coming, for flying all this way to join us here at the show.
I'm here just for this. Thanks for having me.
No, exactly. And Gabby, thank you for joining. So let's get into the discussion. So, Neil, welcome. As I mentioned, you're at Public Mobile, but for our listeners, give a bit of a history of yourself and your role at Public Mobile.
Sure. Public Mobile is a one of our three brands. So we operate multiple brands as TELUS, and it's a brand that we brought in-house about a decade ago. And so that brand is now evolved and reshaped over time. And we specifically took it and made it a digital-only brand, effective spring of last year, actually.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay. And you head up that entire operation.
That's right. I joined probably partway through that process.
Yeah.
To bring it to life, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Gabby, just to remind our listeners, I think your role has changed actually since we last had you on the podcast.
Yeah, I have like two hats. One is responsible for stellar elements in Canada, and the other one is I have global responsibility on telco media for stellar elements.
Okay.
So our division, as you know, is focusing mainly on experience, and we're trying to be both like local but also global when it comes to the different disciplines.
So Neil, let's go back in time to 10 years ago. That was when Public Mobile was founded. How did it get started, and how did it become the sort of first complete digital eSIM experience in Canada?
At that time, really, the digital kind of change for us, it was born of looking at how the market was evolving and shaping over time, and realizing that we were leaving out a segment of the market that was frankly underserved in the Canadian landscape anyways. And that's that customer that wants to, buy their telco perhaps in the same way that they buy, maybe a subscription service like their Netflix, maybe their Disney Plus, perhaps an Amazon, right? And so nobody was doing this. Nobody was doing this at all, actually. And so we said, this is a space we can go and get very much out of the traditional space that Public held, which was your typical prepaid brand. And in that way, it was in, your mom and pop shops. It was in your convenience stores. That's how you bought Public traditionally.
Yeah. And who was that target audience?
I think it's interesting because you want to say the target audience was very specific, right? But when you think of how people consume today, there's a large swath of call them digital natives. But primarily it's about, can you use service without having a need for, perhaps me to support you with a phone call or an in-person, conversation. Yeah. And if you can get by in that way, we're very much the brand for you.
So, we've done the project together.
Yeah.
When it comes to the, 2 clicks eSIM implementation. And as a company that, and this is the first one in Canada.
Yeah.
So very unique. I'm assuming you guys gathering data after the success of the launch. Do you have any plans to utilize any type of Gen AI, anything to do with experience of customers in real time?
Conceivably, this is where things are going. AI is, it's the topic probably of the show. It's been the topic for a long time. When we think about, what's happening from a support perspective, for Public Mobile subscribers, right? Today, we're managing it through a community that supports us in a big way. And we're managing it very offline in terms of your interaction with us. So any avenues to build a better way, to provide more insight to that customer, to serve them in a better way, certainly are areas that I think the platform that we have now enables us to do well going forward.
Generative AI is the star of the show. I mean...
Yeah, it is the show. I think it is the show.
I think they should rename it MW Generative AI next year. And of course, it creeps into every single conversation I'm having. And how we apply generative AI to the telecoms market is pretty clear. And the answers I get back are pretty the same every time. We can increase the customer experience.
Yep.
We can improve network efficiency. We can give cognitive offload to our frontline staff. So we all know that. But going back to your point about adoption in Canada, I'm interested to know, as an individual who has a busy life, what do you, in the last 12 months, use generative AI for?
So I use it for 2 things.
Right.
One, I use it to be able to talk to the guys at Stellar Elements that when I don't know what they're talking about.
And how often? That's fairly frequent.
Fairly frequent. No, I think it's a great aggregator of information in a way that's consumable, right? So I certainly use it for that in various capacities.
Yeah.
And two, I'm a big runner and I use it for training plans.
Right. Gabby.
I use it, I think, mainly for if I want to run my thoughts and put them together in writing and see whether I got them simplified, clear enough. I'll run it and try to actually improve it using ChatGPT as an example.
So it gives you brevity and conciseness to
Correct.
whatever you're doing.
That's
Right.
one. The other one is with pictures.
Okay.
So try to, I use it, in photography. I try to push, really push it to see, for example, with Photoshop and others, they have great kind of capabilities. Some of them are just amazing. I took some of my photos and added, add a waterfall here.
Yeah.
Nobody has a clue that there was no waterfall there.
That's interesting. And Gabby's a professional photographer.
I know. Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's like, but then you say, okay, but where's the limit here, right? Where do you actually push it maybe too much, and where is art versus?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my personal.
So again, another unique answer. And sorry, Neil, you were gonna say
I was going to say, I think you need to show me this because the one area that I found hurts my eyes is when it comes to AI is the imagery. There's always that dead-eyed look of it. It's unmistakable. So I need to see this waterfall.
Well, so how do you think Canadians, and this is just a subjective question for all of us, where do you think they are in their acceptance and adoption of generative AI at this point in time?
It's an interesting question, right? I think everyone is using it, trying to figure out where are the places this can actually help me versus where is it a burden, right? Yeah. And so within the Canadian context, I'm not sure that we're at a place where, there's a cultural push in a direction. To take it back a little bit to public, right? Like when I think about how our users interact with us, we could conceivably be able to serve them in a way that they won't know about, but will add value to their experience, right?
Yeah.
And so if you can do it in a way that is not invasive, I think that's an easier way to adopt, specifically for us.
Yeah, no, and we talked about it before. Your customers are going to sign up for a better experience, right? They're not going to sign up because Public Mobile is now advertising generative AI as part of what you get. That's what that's the whole thing.
I tell you, my take with the Canadian market. Again, I think it depends very much who is actually utilizing that. But we're now at the stage of exploration. So when laser was invented, the sentence that went along with it was a solution looking for a problem. They didn't know what to do with it. And they start, maybe we can measure distance. So the first thing they put a mirror on the moon and start playing with it. Oh, okay, maybe we can do something with it. That was the thing. I think we're at a similar situation right now with everything Gen AI. Oh, maybe I can use it here. How about this? How about that? And we are trying to catch up with our imagination because right now you can almost try to push it to do something else, and the next month it will do it.
Yeah.
So you saw, for example, with Sora recently, they released the kind of few sentences about this woman walking in Tokyo in the streets with a long shirt, with boots and whatever. And you look at this, and it's just like with few sentences, you got a video for 1 full minute that will take weeks, if not months, to do when you do it with animation and stuff. Just unbelievable. And this is like, again, a year ago, the example to compare was something that did not look good at all. So,
and I think my final question to both of you, staying on that topic, and we're almost out of time, but we still got TGI to go to Cal. I've heard terminology, this is a marketing show. It's an inflection point and a step change in humanity. This is the biggest innovation, human changing thing that's ever happened. Do you subscribe to those kind of sentences then? Or are you a little bit more?
I'm a reserved Canadian.
yes, sorry.
I think we, we'll look back in the mirror and maybe point to it and say yes.
Yeah.
Right. But the next, as Gabby was saying, the way it's accelerating, I think the next 5 years are the crucial time for it to, mature
Yeah.
I
Gabby?
think technology-wise, absolutely. The implications from it, unknown. I think, they start talking about, 1 minute of this video requires, endless amount of electricity. So what does it do to our global challenges with climate and all that?
Yeah.
I think we are only now starting to touch the implications of regulations, of what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's the rules around it, when is it okay, when is it not okay. Nobody's dealing with it. Like only a few months ago when OpenAI CEO was kind of let go, right? And then he was brought back. And the same thing that caused for him to be fired is now like, it's fine, it's okay. There are a lot of implications that we don't know yet.
Let's finish off now. We're almost out of time, but we do TGI to go. TGI to go. Question number 1, and I'll ask you both the same question. And you don't have to give the same answer back to just because Neil's your customer. I mean,
But you do a little bit.
He's right.
yeah. I totally agree. So, the first question, Neil, and this is the Canadian episode of the show: Calgary Flames or Edmonton Oilers?
I can't pick either of those.
No, okay. I thought it might be one of them. No, but
Well, if you're a Dynasty fan, then you go Oilers.
the Oilers. No, but what is your team anyway? They can always
I'm from Toronto,
right.
but I can appreciate Wayne Gretzky. So there you go.
Okay. So you are a Leafs fan then?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Flames.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, but you live in the GTA. Huh?
You asked me 2 options. I gave you one of them.
Okay.
I'm with him on Toronto, but
Now, we always have a food question, and I've thrown this question in even to non-Canadian guests, and they have an opinion. Poutine or pizza?
So definitely poutine.
All right.
Yeah, I've been to the place poutine was invented, Drummondville, Quebec,
Oh, really?
and that is the only poutine that's pure in my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
pizza.
Pizza?
Oh, this is my weakness. That's my cheat date.
What's your Canadian go-to pizza brand?
I like to do my own, but Domino's is good.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I go Domino's.
I'm pizza. It's cheaper.
No,
It's
Domino's.
cheaper and I got 4 kids. Hiking or biking? Yes.
Ooh, it's definitely biking for me.
Yeah?
100%.
Is that one of your main pastimes?
Yeah, I think my family thinks I own too many bicycles.
Oh,
they
right.
call them. Yeah.
And where do you typically go out?
I do a little bit of mountain biking, a little bit of what everyone does now, which is gravel biking. So I get around.
All right. Cool.
Hiking.
Yeah, well, I know.
You know, right? So, yeah, my thing is mountains, as you know, and the more the better.
And Everest, again, for our guests, for our listeners, if you go back to the Gabriel Israel show that we did way back in season 3 or 4, we talk about your quest to Everest.
Yeah. Did that, raising money, which is great.
Did you went to base camp, right?
Base camp, yeah.
Okay, I'll ask the question, then we'll talk about it afterwards. ChatGPT or Gemini Advanced, the new Google. Well, it's not new; it's just Bard rebadged, but
Yeah. As I say, it's all evolving, right? So I'm still. Am I old school? I guess ChatGPT. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know anymore.
And I'll let Gabby. Yeah, I'll let Gabby answer that. And then this hasn't been the most successful question so far the last 2 days, but it is interesting.
Yeah. For now, ChatGPT still.
And the reason I asked that question is that the New York Times and a number of tech journalists made a real big deal about the Gemini Advanced and said this thing is crazy good, right? And everybody I've asked is like, I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm still embedded in ChatGPT.
It says something,
mover.
right?
Well, what you have to do is you have to ask each of those the same question. That's where you get your real answer.
That was
Final
not sponsored.
question. Final question. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Yeah, it's got to be Star Wars.
Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll
Thank you
speak
so
again
much.
soon. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
So I want to thank my incredible guests today. I hope you all traveled home safely. Thanks for for all the guests, for making this season so incredible. One more episode to go, everyone. Anyway, please subscribe to our podcast on all the usual podcast channels. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts and enjoyed the show, please rate and review. Also visit our website, amdocs.com/The Great Indoors. We'll be back next week for one more time. Are we saving the best to last? I think we are. And until then, I'm Matthew Roberts for Amdocs in Barcelona. Have a great day wherever you are.